IVM.
Welcome to TFG Fantasy Sports Podcast. This is Vivek Krishnan and CP Thomas from the Fan Garage. It's time for Australia, the defending champions.
The biggies now, the four big guys.
Yes.
Everyone is expecting these four to enter the semis.
Just a month or two ago, they were billed as the dark horses. Now suddenly they have become the favourites for two reasons. One is because they came back from the brink, 0-2 down. They beat us 3-2. Then they whitewashed Pakistan 5-0. Yeah. And then what we saw from Warner and Smith, it only keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, and Warner Smith is in. So that is the biggest plus points for them.
Yes.
In fact, they have a problem of plenty.
Suddenly, yes. So we'll not waste much time. We're down to fantasy cricket and we begin with spinners, like always. Adam Zampa, I think... will be one of the best spinners in the World Cup, because I say that again for a variety of reasons. He's been their best spinner for the last 18 months. The way he bowled against India here, against the best spin bowlers, quite impressive. He might leak runs, but he knows exactly how to take wickets, and that's the beauty of leg spinners.
He'll come in those overs when either the batsmen are well set and they'll want to increase the scoring rate, or they're in a bad spot and you can attack the batsman. So
exactly.
Either ways, you're
and
good for 2-3 wickets.
Also a captain's bowler. If Finch can handle him well, I think he's going to give them a lot of wickets. Yeah,
now between Steve and Finch, it's like the Virat and Dhoni combination. It will be Finch and Steve together.
Of course, you can't forget Warner.
Yeah,
Warner
of course,
is in Finch's ear as well.
So we have Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, yes. That's only IPL.
Okay,
anyway, Nathan Lyon. I'm not very sure about Nathan Lyon's prospect here. Of course, yes, he bowled very well against England in the warm-up match. But I think time will come where Australia have to pick one spinner given the conditions, and I think they will go with Adam Zampa. Simple.
Never know, do bhi le sakte.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Pacers.
But for the fantasy team, I think
I will go with Zampa
plays,
any day. Yeah. Even if both play, I will pick Zampa.
Yeah.
Simple.
So if Zampa is in, he is definitely to be considered.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pace bowlers. Here, plenty of options. All
good names.
Decent bowlers. I mean, they're all capable of running through a team on any given day. But I think, if both Stark and Cummins are in the 11, I would pick at least one of them. Of course, because the budget is not going to be easy and you'll have to pick many other bowlers as well. So, and there's this guy, Jason Behrendorff, the left-arm bowler. He can actually create a lot of problems in English conditions. So we saw him in the IPL as well. So I think chances are that he could open the bowling with Stark and Coulter Nile and Kane Richardson. Not Jai. Jai is injured. Kane is in. So these guys could be benched. So that's our feeling.
Yeah, I think against most teams you would pick a couple of pacers from Australia. Yeah, it's like Stark is almost a given.
Yes.
Cummins will also be very handy with the runs if it comes down to there's a collapse on the top order and
even if Australia are playing India on a grassy wicket, I would pick all three frontline seamers from Australia. Yeah. And if Bolt can run through India, just anyway, all-rounders. Australia have only one all-rounder, and that is Marcus Stoinis.
Yeah.
Marcus Stoinis is we all know what he can do, but the problem has been consistency for him. They see him more as a bowler who can bowl from 35 to 45. He bowls those cutters. His batting position is a bit of a concern. Where does he bat? He can open, but because it's so packed now,
no opening.
Yeah. Can he bat in the middle order? That's again crowded. So I think he'll be.
I think just ignore. Simple. So even if he's playing a Bangladesh, you have a Shakib which will come in more than a Stoinis.
Definitely, so you can ignore him.
Yeah,
Alex Carey is a keeper. Again, I don't expect much from him. He's going to bat 7 or 8, I don't know where. Yes, he finished the match well against England, but again, why would you pick him ahead of many other better keepers?
Yeah.
So drop that. Batting, इधर किसी को drop मत करना. This is a problem. Warner, Smith, Khwaja played brilliantly, and Maxwell. Okay, we'll talk about Maxwell a little later, but I think Sean Marsh can be he loves batting in English conditions. Sean Marsh could be their potential number 3 if Smith bats at number 4. Depends on how they want to use him. Because if you want to play Sean Marsh, play him 1, 2, 3, 4, or else don't play him.
Yeah,
so simple. Right. But wo sab kahani ek taraf, 2 people I just can't ignore, or nobody should, is Warner and Smith.
Yeah. Finch sometimes,
yes.
He can also be very destructive.
Yes.
Yeah, on his day, like he can turn a match.
Yes, yes.
And Maxwell also comes into play. So
Don't forget he's the captain as well.
Yeah, so it's not going to be easy.
No,
it's as simple as that.
Definitely not.
Yeah, but
then, you might also be compelled to leave out one of Warner or Smith because you can't pick everybody.
Yeah, especially when you're playing the top teams. I mean, you have a Virat, Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan,
you have
Warner,
a Kane
Smith,
Williamson, Joe Root, you have a Bairstow. Kisko chodu yaar. Anyway, that's fantasy cricket and. Yes, now what? Moving on to captain and vice captain. We like to mix up the 2 categories because here we like to provide you with so many options. I mean, 4 names stand out for me. Smith and Warner for obvious reasons with the bat, and Stark and Cummins. If Stark starts firing.
Yeah.
If that is a big if, remains to be seen how fit he is.
Yeah, it's not, again, his consistency has not been at the best levels, and so you just can't bet on him in a fantasy 11.
Yeah.
Especially at the vice captain and captain level.
No. He's just in the list. That's about it. Yeah. Because if he peaks, you got to pick him. Yes, and in fact, before he got injured, some fantasy portals ran a survey which said Stark, when Australia plays, is a captain. So that just goes to show how many fantasy players pick Stark as the captain.
Yeah, but I think history will show that it's not a very great choice.
Okay? Yes.
So don't go by all this surveys and all.
Yeah.
You need to look at the
current form also. Yeah.
Current form,
injury,
whom you're playing, what are your options, how's the wicket, all that comes into play, because on an odd day he can take 5 wickets and turn the match on its head, but that's the odd day. You can't play for that odd day.
Yeah. So moving on to the trump card, I have picked 2 people here. Adam Zampa. I really like Adam Zampa. Nobody's talking about him. I'm the only one talking about Zampa. Now, when I say Zampa, don't expect him to pick 3, 4, 5 wickets and get those man of the match awards. No. Cricket is not only about runs or wickets. Cricket is about leaving an impact on the field. How can Zampa do that? Zampa, we saw that in India, he can bowl tight line and length. He can create pressure. He's got a lovely flipper. I think I don't think anybody today bowls a better flipper than Adam Zampa. Imran Tahir, yes. Now, he's also more of a traditional leggy. He doesn't go for too many wrong uns. So, Adam Zampa, I think, will be the key for Australia in the middle overs. I'm telling you, CP.
Yeah, but like a fantasy player, I would want him to give me points. And
that's true.
More times than not, he would give you points. So,
exactly.
Yeah, even in either situation, multiple situations when the opposition is batting well, opposition is crumbling, in both cases he will play a key role.
Absolutely.
Because that's the only variation they have if they remove their pacers out. So
correct.
So they will need to depend on, because even a Stoinis might get 3-4 overs. If he's really doing well,
yes. But you would expect Zampa to bowl 10.
No, he will bowl 10.
Yes.
There's not expecting. It's like, even if 4 pacers are there, the 40 overs, the 10 overs would be with Zampa.
Yes. Of course, a bad day, anybody can have a bad day.
That's
yes. The other trump card is CP's long-time favorite, Glenn Maxwell.
मेरा इन्हें पूरा दुनिया का है.
ये बंदा घुमा सकता है.
See, he's almost like, everybody wants him to do well. He's very lovable. So you want him to come and
fielder as well. Also, what we have seen is slog overs. He's somewhere in the mid-wicket cow corner region. He takes some brilliant catches. Also today, I think, if you talk about direct hits, he ranks in the top 5. So you're talking about 6, 8, 10 points. मतलब बहुत फर्क पड़ता है fantasy में. So trump card, I think, he might have 8 bad games, 2 bad games, and he could put Australia in the semis or finals. So that's Glenn Maxwell. Anyway, overall a strong...
should remember he skipped IPL just to, he and Finch.
Yes, and what I like about Maxwell is Ricky Ponting is grooming him. Ricky Ponting is constantly talking him. Man, I really hope it will all go well.
That's all he needs. He has the talent, he has the strokes, he has everything. He just needs that mental kind of, stability to go out there and perform. That's it. And somebody, like we kept saying about Delhi performing because Ricky is in the dugout, it's a great difference.
Yes. Overall, a great team, formidable team, well-balanced contenders. Even when it comes to fantasy cricket,
7 to 8 names, always there.
Easy. Yeah, that's a core.
So you need to, you will have a tough time, but then definitely. Of course match to match we will also be giving you pointers on that.
Yeah.
So but when you look at Australia, definitely 7-8 names are in your list always.
Correct.
Just keep that in mind.
Yeah. So done with the 4-time champions. We will wait and see if they can defend. So yes, that's that on TFG Fantasy Sports Show. We'll be talking about Team South Africa next up. Cheers, bye.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Screwwaller, and you've been listening to my podcast and the multiple chapters of my book, Dream With Your Eyes Open. And I think to that, I've had good chats here. And I think chapter 13, my book is all about Q&As, and I'm sure there are more Q&As. Happy to answer them, so send them in, and happy to have a dialogue with you on that.
So if you'd like to ask Ronnie a question, send it to us at dreaming@ivmpodcast.com. If selected, we'll read out your question on the last episode and have Ronnie answer it. You can also send a question to us on social media at IVM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Do you wish you were smarter? Well, so do we. But the next best thing?
We could make you sound smarter.
And to help you with this endeavor, we are Simplified, a podcast that attempts to break down the complex world around you with a little knowledge, a lot of poor jokes, and a ton of random trivia.
Episodes out every Monday
on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.
See ya!